you'll definitely see that the blacks will turn a purple color. What's up, Royals? I'm Kai. Hope you're doing well, and this has got to be one of the most beautiful, bright Enchi pies I have ever seen. More on her on a future video, but for now, let's take a look at her babies. Here we go. This is a Enchi pied het hypo. That's the female, and the male should be a super orange dream pied. So everything in this clutch should be a pied. Hopefully we'll have orange dream Enchis, but at a minimum they should be orange dream pieds. I am a little bit concerned about this clutch. I didn't want to use the word concerned here, but I am a little bit concerned because they're highly dimpled. They haven't pipped yet. They've gone beyond the 55 days. We did lose 3. This is an 8 egg clutch, and we did lose 3 for whatever reason. I don't know. It just kind of suddenly happened. I check these eggs every day. It's like a ritual for me. And they all looked great one day. The next morning, 3 of them were in bad shape. And I knew I had to get rid of them right away because it wasn't, you know, that usual black mold stuff. It was like the green orangey bacteria stuff, so that needed to be dealt with right away, and I just tossed them out. So we are left with 5 eggs. We're going to go ahead and start cutting. I'll start with the one that's most dimpled. Look at that. And what I also want to try with this one is cutting that sliver across the top rather than cutting the flap. Now, these, like I said, they should all be pieds. We'll have orange dream pieds or orange dream Enchi pieds. So they should be relatively easy to identify. I know I always say that, and then I can't identify anything. All right, so that is definitely a pied. Oh, that is nice. That is so nice. I think that is a orange dream pied. I just don't see the blockiness pattern to call it a orange dream Enchi. Of course, this is the first egg. So as we go through this, if we see something much brighter, then we'll know it's this could be the Enchi. But if we see other ones that are darker, then we might know that, if we see other ones that are brighter, then we would know that this is the orange dream pied. If we see other ones that are less vibrant, then this will come back to this one, and maybe this one will be the orange dream Enchi pied. So that's just my rationale of how I'm going to go about identifying these out of the egg. So number 2, and you did notice some red veins in that one, right? You can see the red veins. That's okay. That's not going to hurt the animal at all. And I do kind of like this method of just cutting a slit. I know Billy Rowe over at Mutation Creation, he actually cuts a piece of the egg off, but all I'm doing is cutting a small hole to start, a little V, and then instead of cutting a flap, I'm just running it across the top. One straight line. What is this? Wow. Holy moly, that is nice. I'll make this a little bit bigger. So this is similar in brightness to the first one we cut. Yeah, I think it's similar. I think, wow, wait, hold on. Hold your horses. That, I think, is a Enchi Orange Dream Pied. Let me check. Yep, I think this is an Enchi Orange Dream Pied. Wow. They are kind of high white. It's kind of high white for an Enchi Orange Dream because Enchi usually adds a lot more pattern to a pied. But I think this is the Enchi version. Of course, these are all still guesses. And even after they come out, they still might be guesses, but I think this is an educated guess. So what happens with Enchi mixed with Orange Dream and Enchi mixed with some of the other genes is that it kind of dilutes the blacks. They're not as crisp, and this one seems to have a little bit of dilution. If we double up on Enchi, or if we have an Enchi Super Orange Dream, you know, if we make those in the future, you'll definitely see that the blacks will turn a purple color. I won't be making them for a while, but you can definitely go on Morph Market, go on Instagram, look at some other people's Enchi pied combinations that have, you know, Super Orange Dream in it, or even a Super Enchi, even with leopards, yellow bellies, all those combinations. You'll see that the blacks within the saddles turn to a purplish color, which is pretty cool. Probably the best person's page to look at would be Ozzy over at Ozzy Boyd's. He's made some amazing Orange Dream combos, and he uses Enchi quite often as well. All right, egg number 3. Come on. Come on, come on. Give me something. That's an Orange Dream. That's definitely an Orange Dream. It's a little bit darker than the other two. The thing with the pies is that every saddle kind of looks different. Even on the same snake, they might have different color saddles. This one seems a little bit darker. We don't have much of the black, a couple specks. Just can't really go off of that. But yeah, you can see how this one is darker. It's got a little bit of that, you know, dusting on that saddle. Whereas the first one we cut was super bright. Look at that. That is super clean. I gotta keep coming back to this one because we're using this one as reference. See how clean that is? All right, we got 2 left, guys. 2 left, and these are the bigger 2. 2 biggest eggs out of the clutch. Again, I'm just pinching and rolling. If you can see, I'm just rolling this. And what that's gonna do is help to detach the inner membrane that has all those veins from the shell, and then ever so gently a tiny slit right across the top, and then I'll stick the scissor in and make a very shallow cut, riding the scissor across the top. That will hopefully avoid the vein, and so far we haven't nicked any veins. Oh my goodness. Oh god, that's another Enchi Orange Dream pied. This is what I imagined it to be. Look at all the pattern. Again, you see the blacks are kind of blushed out. You can kind of imagine that if we add another dose of Enchi into it, or Orange Dream, or even anything really that brightens the animal, like fire, vanilla, a lot of different options of codons we can add to this. You can imagine that black, the dark spots becoming more purple, because you can kind of see how it's a little bit purpley already. But yeah, that is the Enchi Orange Dream pied. Whew, that looks beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. The the Super Orange Dream Dad. I think I got him back in 2019, maybe 2020. And I've been trying to use him to make these Orange Dream Enchi combos, Super Orange Dream combos. But it just hasn't, things just didn't line up. You know, the first year that I had him, when I tried to breed him, he was just too small. And then when he got up to size, I needed the Enchi pied females for a different project. So he just sat on the shelf. And I had a orange dream pied female growing up for him, but she stopped feeding midway through the season, so she didn't get up to size as I was hoping for. So he sat on the shelf pretty much for like another season. I did use him as a backup just to get some females started. And I used them on other projects like the Ultramel Pied project. So he did breed, but it just didn't breed to the females that I had envisioned lined up for him. This is the Orange Dream Pied. Orange Dream Pied all day long. Look at all the pattern. That is awesome. I like my pieds low white because I want to see the pattern. I mean, that's kind of, to me, that's the goal, is to see the changes in the pattern when we stack all the codoms. And if it's a high white, then it's just less pattern to really really look at, and it makes it harder to identify when there's not much pattern. So this is definitely Orange Dream Pied all day. And keep in mind, these are all 50% het for pied. Sorry, 50% het for hypo. I'm just so excited. Can't remember what genes I'm working with here. 50% het for hypo because the mom, she was originally purchased as Posset hypo, and she did prove out. So she's 100% het for hypo now. That makes all these babies 50% het for hypo. So needless to say, I'm going to be keeping some of these, most likely keeping the females, and then I'll work on producing a more powerful double visual hypo-pied male to put to these females. And I can work on getting that male next year, the year after, because females take longer to get to maturity. Males can probably get to maturity within a year and a half or so. So that is the plan, guys. That's the plan. I will give you guys an update once all these come out. For me, it's going to take a few days, but for you guys, I'm going to do it right after this. So just stick around. All right, so it is time for an update. And man, look at this one. She is just squirming. And yes, these are both females, and they're both Orange Dream Pies, 50% het for hypo. Let's see if I can keep her still. She's gonna go. She's gonna run off. Look at this. Look at this. Now I know Orange Dream Pies have been made for a while now. The first time I saw one, it was like, I don't know, like $2,000. And they're not $2,000 anymore, but man, I still love looking at these, and it's just extra special when you make your own. Finally made my own for the very first time, using an animal that I purchased, I think back in 2019, 2020. So it's been a couple of years, yeah. But look at these two. I wish this one would stop moving so I can, oh, here we go. So this is better. Stay. There we go. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Now the mom is a Enchi pied het for hypo. I got the mom as a Posset hypo. Proved her out a couple years back. Or I think maybe it was last year actually. But I also noticed that the mom is much brighter than any typical Enchi pied. Originally I thought that maybe it was just due to her being Posset hypo, maybe that she'll prove out, which is why she was a little bit brighter. But I really do think now that she may have something else in her, because every time she's produced a clutch, half of them are just super clean, and the other half are, is what's to be expected. And again, those other years, those other seasons previously, I just thought that the clean ones were the het hypo ones. But now looking at this, sorry, I just bumped the camera. It's very similar to the Cypress pies that I produced before. You can see this one is so much cleaner. The blacks are more crisp. The oranges are very clean, very uniform. You don't have much of that grayish or dirtiness. But then over here, you can see that this has that peppering. Yeah, you can see that it has the peppering pretty much on all of these saddles. So this is going to be a chance for me to hold back both of these girls, and we'll breed them to something that has hypo, possibly, preferably a visual hypopied male. And we'll see if this one proves out to be hypo, or if they both prove out to be hypo, or if they both don't prove out to be hypo. I'm actually more interested to see if they both are the same, like either they're both het hypo or both not het hypo, because that's going to help me further pull out whatever this is that makes it so much cleaner. But yeah, these are absolutely beautiful. And you know what, it doesn't stop here, because we made 3 Enchi Orange Dream pieds, also 50% het for hypo. I'm gonna get those out right now. Look at this ball of beauty right here. So funny enough, those 2 that I showed you earlier, Orange Dream pieds, those are both female, and all 3 of these Enchi Orange Dream pieds are male. All 3. So I actually have Orange Dream pied, or something similar, that is 100% het for hypo. It's also 66% het for ultra male. So that's the boy that I'm gonna stick with, which means all 3 of these are gonna be looking for a new home. Oh no, don't leave. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, as soon as I get enough meals into these, they're gonna go on Morph Market. And oh, look at that emoji. Look at that, we got an emoji there. So like I said during the egg cutting, see how the blacks are kind of diluted? They're kind of, yeah, let me pick up this one, since this one is running away anyway. You see how they're kind of diluted? They're not very crisp. And if we just add one more dose of Enchi or something, maybe even like yellow belly, it's gonna dilute that even more to like a purplish color. If we add something dark, like a leopard, you know, the leopard has a lot of blacks, a lot of thick banding, that'll darken this up and crisp it up if you want. But if you're looking for that purplish color, yeah, definitely another dose of Enchi or another dose of Orange Dream. Fire is going to help with that, making it purple as well. So those are all possibilities that are running through my head and what I want to do, where I want to take this project. Of course, I want to make that double visual hypo pied with Orange Dream and Enchi in it, but I'm also thinking about what I can do beyond that. But yeah, super happy I got all these. I mean, they are male. I will be selling them, like I said, but just being able to produce these finally is just extremely satisfying. Enchi and Orange Dream are 2 of my favorite genes, and they look absolutely phenomenal in a pied. I can't wait to start layering on things like hypo and even ultra male. That about wraps it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and you want to be informed of future uploads, make sure you're subscribed and ring that notification bell. As always, thanks for watching. Please share, and remember, Royals for life. Peace out.